Hello and welcome to Foundations of Programming. This is a beginning level programming class and no prior experience in programming is necessary. In this video, I'm going to show you some tools and tips and tricks for being successful in the programming class and how to navigate through the FLVS course. When you go to your Foundations of Programming class, it's going to take you to a home page, and there's a lot of useful features for you on this home page. Up at the top, um, you'll see my name, phone number. Okay, that's the number you'll use to call or text me. My Seminole County Public School email. When we do tutoring sessions and at various other times, you may want to work with me in Zoom. That's the link to my Zoom classroom. If you're going to be working with me in Zoom, I'll send you a password because it's also a password protected classroom. My hours of availability are from 8 in the morning till 8 p.m. However, when you get ready to schedule an appointment, there's certain times that are blocked off specifically for calling. If you don't see a time that works for you, do text me. It's very important. We have to talk, both you and me and a parent, for the welcome call. Then each and every month, you and I will talk on the phone. Uh, Often that's going to be for a DBA, but if 30 days are up and we haven't talked, I'm going to call to check in with you each and every month. One thing that's available that I really would like you to take advantage of, please don't struggle in silence in this class. We can schedule individual tutoring sessions through Zoom. You can show me your desktop. I can show you mine, and we can work through whatever issues you might be having in being able to do the assignment. Okay. Other information you may find here that's helpful is the Seminole County Virtual School office numbers and emailers here. I have two assistant principals, Mrs. Kavanaugh and Mrs. Lacasia. Their emails are here. If you're having technical issues, the SCVS Help Desk can help you here. And if you're having technical issues with your Florida Virtual course, the Florida Virtual Help Desk is here. Now, when you get started in the course, one of the first things you're going to do is fill out a form that so you'll notice here the big green button says new to your course. If you haven't already, click on that button. It's going to take you to a Google form so that I can collect all your contact information. You'll also find a video there that will give you some general tips for navigating through an FLVS course. Below that are specific resources for this class. PACE chart for segment 1 and the PACE chart for segment 2. If you've never taken a virtual class before, you're going to find that PACE chart becomes your Bible. So I suggest that you download it, print it, save it, keep it somewhere where you can refer to it. If you start week 1, the first week of school, then you'll see that the to-do here will always match that. But if you end up starting the class later, then you're going to have to go with your pace chart because you may be slightly behind the schedule here. You should never be so far behind that that it would be trouble for you to complete it by the end of the semester. Um, on the other side, you'll see the PACE chart for segment 2. Foundations of Programming is a 2-semester course, so typically you'll do segment 1 the first semester, segment 2 the second semester. I do have some students though that like to work through a little bit quicker, and so if you want to, you can work at a faster pace and finish the course early. There are 2 collaborations, one for segment 1 and one for segment 2. That will make a lot more sense once you actually get into the course, but the handouts that you'll need and the directions for the collaboration assignments are right here. Below that are resources divided by module. The first 3 modules are in segment 1. The last 3 modules are in segment 2. So as you can see, I've started putting resources, a lot of resources under segment 1, and I'll be fleshing that out throughout this semester. One thing I'd like to point out to you is the guided notes. I would download those guided notes and save them. If you like to handwrite notes, you may want to print them. If you like to type them, then of course save them on your computer and you can work on them from there. You may use your guided notes during our discussion-based assessment. And so that, particularly if you get nervous talking to someone for the first time, or this is, you're just really want a handout to kind of show you the most important ideas in each and every module, this guided notes is what's going to help you through the segment. It will give you guided notes that you can use on both DBAs as well as the final exam. Besides that, the getting started video is right here. There will be a video on how to do the program in 1.03. And then there's some tips for you on pseudocode, which you'll be learning about, some ideas on what to do when you come across errors. And then these are some other topics that you're going to be getting to in segment 1. So anyway, as you go through each module, you'll find the resources, both video and print resources for each module listed underneath. Just some guidance tips for success. Follow that pace chart. You can always work ahead of the pace chart, but you shouldn't be behind. You do need to turn in an assignment each and every week, and you need to work in order. So you wouldn't do 1.03 and then skip to 1.05. You want to work in order because each assignment builds on the from the previous one. It is an FLVS requirement that you turn in an assignment every 7 days. So as long as you make sure you're turning in one assignment a week, you should be fine in this class. And again, don't struggle in silence. I'm here to help you. So call me, text me, email me. We'll set up a tutoring session, or sometimes it's just a hint that I need to give you over the phone. But whichever it is, make sure that you don't just stare at the program and get frustrated and walk away and give up. We're here to help you be successful in this class. Okay, so that's the resources you'll find on the home page. So now let's look at how to navigate the actual course. So when you go into your Foundations of Programming class, and you'll get to that by clicking on Lessons on that home page, again, you'll see that it's divided up into 2 segments. Before you get started, click on the Getting Started icon here and go through, and it will give you some tips and tricks for how FLVS courses are written. And then you're going to plunge right into Module 1. You don't need to worry about this collaboration right here because the collaboration assignments, directions that you'll be following are on my home page. So let's look at segment 1 and some features. When you click on the segment, you'll have a list of exactly what you're going to be doing in that particular module. I like the very first page because it gives me an estimated amount of time so that you know that when you get ready to do the Intro to Programming assignment, give yourself at least 45 minutes. The 2 programs you're going to write are in 1.03, 1.04, and I think also in 1.05. I think there's 3 programs you're writing. So you'll notice that with each one, there is a time to complete it. If you've worked on it for 90 minutes and you're really frustrated, again, reach out to me or go back and look at that home page under Module 1 resources because there will be a video that will also help you with 1.03 and 1.05. And then Module 1 is finished with an exam. So there are some things that you need to notice while you're in this class that are probably different than other classes that you may have taken with FLVS. you're going to need a place to write your program. And that's the IDLE or idle. So when you click on the idle, it's going to open in a separate window. And the idle looks, excuse me, the idle looks like this. Up here, you'll write your code. And then when you run it, down here is where you'll see the output of your code. So if you get any error messages, you'll see them down here. If it doesn't run the way the output isn't what you expected it to be, then of course you come back up here and edit your code. And you can keep editing it back and forth and running it as you work on the program. One other thing I want to cover is a little bit about turning in assignments. It's a little bit trickier when you get into the module, I think when you have to write your first program. So let's look at that real quick. And I think the first program is in 1.03. Now, as you go through each program, you'll see that this has 8 pages. You can navigate it this way by clicking on each individual one, or you can click on the arrow here to go to each individual page. This area right here is real important. This is where you have a guided practice. So they will actually give you some instructions on what you're going to do. You'll revise or type whatever code they tell you to type, click on run program, and then you'll see the output. So this looks very similar to the idle that you'll be using, but again, it's where you're going to practice the code before you ever actually have to write your program. You should practice each command that you're going to learn, and then once you've finished each of the pages, then you'll get to the part where it actually tells you what you'll be doing in your program, and you'll plan your program and you'll write it. Now, each of the programs that you write or assignments will always be on the last page of each lesson. And you'll see something here, it's easy to miss, where it says follow the assignment template. When you click on that template, it's going to open up a document that tells you what to do, and it'll often tell you, give you an example, and it may even tell you insert your code here. So see how it says insert your program code here? And then it has some questions for you to answer. What I would suggest is that you just select this whole thing, highlight it, hit Control C to copy it, and paste it into Word. And then what you'll find is it has a lot of directions for you right up here at the top. You'll write your code in the idle, and we looked at the idle before, and then while you're in the idle, you'll select all of the code that you wrote at the top, not the output, but just the code that you wrote, and copy and paste it into the Word document where it says insert your program code here. Now you're going to learn that indents are real important in Python, and because of that, when you copy and paste this into Word, you may see that it changes your indentation a little bit. Don't worry about that. Leave it the way it is. Don't try to fix it, make it look pretty in Word, because I'm not grading how pretty your Word document is. I'm going to select that code and copy and paste it into the idle, and I'm going to run it. So it's real important that you submit your code here. Don't submit a picture. Submit the code, because I'm going to actually be copying and pasting that in and running your program. All right, so that should give you enough to get started in the class. Again, if you get stuck, please give me a call, text, or email. I'm here to help you. I'm really excited you've decided to take on the programming adventure.